Yo! And welcome to episode 28? 27? 20-something of Let's Make a RenegadeX Map. So, last time we finished off with this rock. The material is absolutely perfect. Well, not perfect, it's only some work. But the problem I was having with it disappearing is because LODs can't take a vertex. Well, the LODs after the main mesh can't take a vertex color, so that's why it disappears. I can overcome this by forcing the LOD to 1, but this will actually make a lot more polys when rendering from a distance. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find this mesh. What I would usually do is just make a copy of it, create a copy, make it into our, whatever package mine is, which is RX custom. I'm just going to save it to mesh and whatnot. And within here, I'll just simplify it. Well, it's mesh simplification. That's in tools. Well, I think it's in tools. It was in mesh. Windows mesh simplification, and this is actually Simplagon. If I bring this down to whatever max number of divisions by 50, click this should go down, but it isn't, mainly because this is actually a UDK mesh, but we can actually export this and re-import it. So what we're going to do is right click this. We are going to we could export from here, just right click and export, but we're going to do it from here. So we're going to export the file. We're going to pick a file type. In this case I want FBX because it holds a lot more data. Just going to save it to my desktop for now, and I want to re-import this. It's that simple. Desktop, don't worry about all the crap on my desktop, but it won't let me re-import it for some reason. So what we're going to do is delete it, go to import, find it on my desktop again. It should be just called something or other. There it is. Import. I don't need to check anything as long as it's in my package. Press OK, and there it is in my package. As you can see, well, as you can see, this doesn't have any LODs anymore, and it doesn't have collision. You can see that here. But what we can do with this now is actually bring down the poly count, the triangles. So I'm going to bring them down, and you can see it comes down a hell of a lot. And right now I just want to put my material instance, my vertex color on here, so going to get an LOD info, elements, then the material, just dump my material in there. And you see, it doesn't have any LOD, but we have less triangles to worry about. I could even bring it down a little bit more if I needed. Try and bring it down a bit more. There it goes, under 1,000 triangles. So now to add collision, I'm going to auto complex. That's a bit crappy, so let's up this a little bit. That's a bit much. And that's pretty good. Might be able to bring these down a little bit. And a bit more. Yep, that's good. Close that. Now I have collision. Prove I have collision. There we go. I'd also say on here that it doesn't have no collision model. So done that. And now what I'm going to do is pick everything that's on my shoreline Well, I don't really need to do around here, but I will anyway, just because. And again, I have everything on my shoreline. And again, I don't really need to do any of this back stuff, but I'm going to do it anyway. And I'm just going to replace. Easiest way to do that is hit F4 and go to my static mesh and just go like that. And it will replace them all. And now I can go back to painting my vertices or vertex. I could have used the texture painting, but I was getting a lot of crashes, so we did it this way instead. Where is it? Ah, there we go. The only problem with this now is that well, for some reason it isn't actually working. Have I got the right version on here? Ah. Select all this class and I'm just going to remove these and that. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, the only problem I have now is there's so little triangles that it kind of bleeds. You can see it right here where it's bleeding. Let's come off here. Yeah, it's not too bad. It doesn't have to be perfect anyway. Just so it looks wet. And I'm going to fine tune this material later on anyway. So yeah, we're actually getting a water line, which is pretty cool. And again, because the vertex is a crappy, it's not going to be as crisp as last time. But we can make do with it. Put it onto RGB so we can actually see what's going on. And from a distance we can see what's going on. And for the fact that you're not really going to get close to these, it doesn't really matter all that much. Clickety click 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 beep beep. Yeah, we're not going to get close, so we're not going to really notice how crappy these models actually are. Well, how low poly they actually are. But yeah, looking pretty good. Again, I don't really need to do the ones around here. You're not going to actually see them. I might just see them. Might as well do it all. I was playing around with trying to get like a world level. I'm not sure how to explain this, but get a material that acts from a Z coordinate up and another material that acts from a Z coordinate down, but I really couldn't get that working. My knowledge is not that good, unfortunately. Yeah, that was pretty sweet. It works. So, next thing we can do is we can take the knowledge that we got from here and put it into this Tiberium. But right now, I don't particularly have time to work on a material. So I just want to like start preparing the map for a playthrough. So stuff like this I need to fix. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing most of this episode. I do apologise. I said I was going to do the Tiberium, but as I said, I don't particularly have the time. I wish I did, but I don't. So we're just gonna tidy all this up, and again, comments on what you actually want to see out of this map. As I said, I've got a few plans, but as always, none of my plans are actually well, I never really stick to plans because it's not my style. I usually make up a plan and it goes to shite. It's just the way I am. So and as far as I know, I've seen about 13 different maps now, 14 different maps that people are working on, and I believe most of them actually watch this series. I don't know why, because this doesn't really teach you all that much. You're better off looking at proper tutorials about how all the tools work. That's how I got into all this. But yeah, I've been helping a few mappers as well, which is all good. So I'll help anyone myself, especially when it helps the community. The community is the most important part of Renegade X, in my opinion. Without the community, we don't got a game. There's no point in making the game. I'm sure a lot of people would agree with me. And hopefully with all these new maps coming, the community is just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, which would be friggin' awesome. Which in turn gets the games and maps bigger and bigger and bigger. If you're wondering what I'm doing here, I'm basically going around the edges and just like feathering it off. Otherwise it just doesn't look right. As you can see here, there's like a dip. So we're just going to feather that off, just so it looks a bit better, a bit more presentable. Oops, it's not the right one. Yeah. Next episode I'll be doing the Tiberium blend, and I actually work on that material a bit more, so I don't have it'll be the same material, just I'll have different effects for it. I'll be able to turn stuff on and off and whatnot, which would be cool. Yeah, I'll give anyone help, but within reason. So I'm getting a bit sick of silly questions getting asked that it's quite easy to Google. You know what I mean? Or I had one the other day. The answer is in the video he posted on, and yeah. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. And yeah, it was a bit odd that he asked that question in the same video that I answered that question. It's almost like he didn't even pay attention to the video. Just wanted to ask a question. Which is fair enough, you want to ask questions, but if you ask a question on a video, please watch the video to see if that, especially with the title having practically the answer in a way. No, I just want to. Ooh, that scared me then. Don't crash. Whatever you do, don't crash. I do not like crashing. No! Ah, thank God for that. Oops. So yeah, we're getting there slowly but surely. As I said, I'm taking my time with this. I'm not trying to rush anything out. That looks pretty cool. I want to work on that some more. Get some proper wetness going on. That sounds odd, but okay. So I also want to get this this tree line sorted as well. This is going to be a bit of a pain because it's so convoluted. Basically what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be allowing aircraft to fly over the top of this, but I'm not going to let them fly through the trees because the trees don't actually have collision for vehicles. So yeah, it's either take all the trees out and put them in bit by bit, which isn't too hard to do. Whoops. There aren't that many trees, and I just randomly spot them on the map, then drop them down. But yeah, I may do that, I may not, or I just may use a vehicle blocking volume around them with either a damage volume on top or a bounce, a flow stroke push volume. But yeah, it's looking pretty sweet. And I gotta call it now because, as I said, I haven't had a lot of time today, and hopefully next time we can get some more done. But yeah, that need to fix that. This water's looking pretty sweet. Oh, not the water, but these rocks. And the map's looking pretty good as is now anyway. There's still a lot of fine tweaking, but we're getting there. And yeah, thanks for watching. Catch you next one. Ta-ra.